for me to, I was inspired heavily by the music of Bob Marley. Not only the music, but the mission and the vision. The African dimension of the message. He was not only a musician, he was also an advocate for African unity, African identity, and also us being proud as a people. So those were elements that really attracted me to. And then he was also a melodic genius. So as a musician, I was listening to, let's say the Fela Kutis and all of that, Bob Marley, and I will add more. I will say that it was not only Bob Marley, obviously Peter Tosh was a big influence of mine. Benny Spear was a big Black Uhuru,
Black Uhuru?
Yeah.
You remember any of their songs?
Hey!
Because you know what?
Guess who's coming to dinner? Natty Dreadlock. All of that, yeah.
You know the one I love from Black Uhuru?
Which one?
Oh, what a joy to hear the utterance of a Rasta. Long ago,
I'm used to say,
I love that.
Yeah,
I got to love reggae music because of a classmate of mine called Black Priest.
Wow.
Black Priest is Samuel Odoi. And when we were in Presec, when the sixth formers left, we took over their cubicles. And Samuel used to do a little bit of split. I didn't smoke, I didn't drink.
Yeah.
And, I would walk out of my room, kind of crazy. Apparently it was because he was doing so much spliff. The whole place was filled with smoke. But the music he was playing there, oh my God.
Serious stuff.
The music was wonderful. Wonderful music. So that's how I got really introduced to reggae.
That's
and
amazing.
I have loved reggae since.
Reggae, I feel that reggae was the music that stood for us. It was a diasporic music that declared itself for we Africans. How many times do you get a musical form and a whole artist movement?
Is that because of the political...
It's the socio-political content of it, and also it was also a diasporian music. It was people, our own brothers and sisters, who are carrying our own genes, who made that music. So it was also a music that tried to see the connection and create a bridge back to us. And I think that's a bridge that informed hip-hop, informed all of it. Because hip-hop, Kool Herc, who was a Jamaican, was where, you could trace the origins from traditional African, if you want to go to the fundamentals of it, traditional African, shall I say, griot music, which was using utterance and words and poetry for music, and then also history.
In my radio days, I just said, well, KKD says, nobody said so. KKD says,
yes,
rap is rhythmic African poetry. That's it.
So then, but then the modern variant, also because afterwards then you had reggae music. Reggae was informed by ska, jazz, all of these also were creations of black people. And then you had
rock
reggae
too.
And rock, of course. Little Richard was the one who started all the Beatles, Rolling Stone. Everybody was a student of Little Richard.
That's it.
What's called Jimi Hendrix was a guitarist in Little Richard band.
So, well, people appropriated it and claimed it to be their own.
Of course.
But we can't run away from the fact.
But that's why I'm talking of identity and being proud of who we are, because we've created so much and we've given so much to the world, but we have never taken care of we. You see, because we have been interrupted historically from slavery, from colonization, now from digital colonization, which is happening right now. Digital colonization is a real thing. We wake up, we are looking at our phones, but we don't control the media that is being pumped to us.
You don't control the algorithms.
The algorithm. So our identity and every day our engagement is not even about us. It's about someone sitting out there and programming slavery, self-diminishing, working against each other, anxiety, pain, all of those things being programmed and pumped to us. And every morning we wake up to it, and then you see your brother and you are angry.
Just yesterday,
yes,
I had a discussion with a dear younger brother of mine who is in America. He's one of the managers of a very, very good fashion store. And he was telling me about some videos he's watching on TikTok. And I said, no, you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
You must be intentional about what you watch on TikTok.
Yes.
Because I'm studying for my PhD in China, and their TikTok has algorithms that gives them things about how to go to space,
yes,
how to create this,
engineering,
how to build a brand,
yeah,
how to put together an engine,
yeah.
and I don't know which algorithms are sending stuff to you, but you're getting junk. And he was talking to me about, oh, this Ghanaian girl who's done this. I said, at your age, this is what you're watching?
Yes.
Why don't you intentionally key in what you want to look for, like how to start a speech to an audience of over 35-year-olds? Why don't you do that?
Yeah, agriculture. New ways of agriculture.
Why don't you do that?
Yes.
You are not being intentional about the use of your time.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, you talk about time like it's all that. I said, yes.
But look at the thing that trend.
Who makes them trend?
That's what we should
That's
be
a good
asking.
question. Who makes them trend?
When you put smart things on there, the algorithm holds it if you are sending it to your own people.
That's it.
But then when you put something about somebody twerking, stupidity and all of that kind of stuff, you see every outlet taking it and reposting it and reposting it, and everybody sitting there wasting ample, valuable time that could be channeled into our national development just looking at a screen. It's like eventually we're going to put the chip in our brain. That's where it's prepping us too.
So I'm going to tell you this. It's a vacation today. Yes, get some enjoyment. But remember, value upliftment over entertainment. Upliftment
yes.
over entertainment.
Yes.
Too much entertainment dulls the brain. Entertain yourself, no doubt, but please focus more on upliftment. And we're going to be talking more about upliftment, and I'm going to be asking my special guest, Rocky Dawuni, about which one he finds more riveting, more compelling, more important in his life. Is it his heritage or his identity? Right after this.
Excellent furnishing in a real estate business is a great deal for survival. My struggles as a young estate developer were cut short when I discovered Fernat Ghana. With quality furniture made from the finest woods and amazing after-sale service, Fernat Ghana changed my story with every single home I built. It's a one-stop shop that serves the interests of clients with a variety of living room and dining sets, solid wood kitchen installations, wardrobes, doors, cabinets, beds, pergolas, floor parquets, and many other wooden products that will last a lifetime. With Fernat Ghana, all clients are offered the opportunity to customize furniture to their specifications, and the smile on their faces says it all. Thanks to Fernat, now your home can look beautiful with furniture that would last for generations. Visit Fernat Ghana today and share my story. Locate us at Yaniba Estate, Osu, Accra, or call 0303 966 085 or 055 278 4097. Think wood, think Fernat.
Dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. Here I got a song for you, my beautiful people. My beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. There are many things we cannot hide. There are many bonds that can be undone, just like our bond. Yeah. Everything in life is a sacrifice, but I know it was worth the price, for I did it for you. Here I come with a song, oh beautiful people. Oh beautiful people, sing along, yeah. I dedicate this song to you, my beautiful people. Oh, beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. From every corner we'll be blasting, from every corner we'll be blasting. a song for you, oh beautiful people. Oh beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah. I dedicate this song for you, oh beautiful people. Oh beautiful people, come and sing along, yeah.
Oh, I'm enjoying this holiday with one of my favorite souls, Rocky Dawuni. And, you know, it's interesting. Sometimes what you see on TV is exciting. But what happens during the breaks? Maybe we should capture those and show them to you, too. This brother is special. But, you know, there's this old song. Well, I shouldn't even call it so old. It's an evergreen song.
Yes.
It was actually pulled from the speech of Emperor Haile Selassie.
Yes.
Until the philosophy which holds one race superior and another inferior is finally and permanently discredited. Bob Marley.
Yes, so it was a speech of Haile Selassie that Bob Marley used the words to create war.
But interestingly, in your case, you made a song from one fantastic album, Hymns from the Rebel Soul.
Yes.
And from that album, a song titled Walls Tumbling Down.
Yeah.
And a world leader uses words from the song to address leaders at the United Nations. When you heard the words of PM Mia Motley of Barbados, how did you feel? In fact, how did you hear about it?
You know, interestingly, I was in New York at that time. And then one morning, the afternoon when it happened, all of a sudden, I saw my phone, like, you know, the phone going off and off and off and off and off. I was just like, what's going on? It was almost like when I was nominated for my first Grammy, you know, like how everything was going crazy. So I took my thing and everybody was like, wow, have you seen the Prime Minister of Barbados just quoted you to all world leaders? I was like, what? What happened? So I go online quickly, and then the speech was there with like, so I watched the speech and just like, oh my God, this is, you know, there's nothing as a musician and a lyricist, somebody who's been writing, and interestingly too, the album that she had quoted from,
Hymns from the
was my first album, you know, the first album, that album was nominated for NAACP Image Award for Best Global Music Album, which most people don't even know a lot here. So it was one of my albums that
people know, and I'll tell you what.
Yes.
It is our gatekeepers who fail the people. Because if disc jockeys and VJs and producers who are working in media choose to only go for the music where people are showing their backside and not talk about the music that addresses intellect, then we are failing the people.
Yes.
So don't say most people.
Yes.
Say most gatekeepers.
Okay. Exactly. You know. So you know. Then I have the people from the UN. That's like a call, because the UN folks, you know, as an ambassador to the UN folks, heard it too, and everybody was called. Everybody was like, I mean, because she was one of the most one of the most respected world leaders. One of the most respected world leaders, and for her to quote my lyrics as the foundation of her speech, and not only that, she gave me credit for
because
that.
she's an intellectual. She's not a plagiarist.
Exactly.
I mean, there are world leaders and even some African leaders who are plagiarists.
Exactly.
You know, so
and something that
intellectuals
and something that none of our leaders has ever bestowed on me.
They ignore you to go and quote Shakespeare.
So here I was, like, everybody calling me about that. And you see, the thing is that for me to, when I heard it, I was, you know, I bowed in prayer and gave thanks to God for that, because there's nothing that I can do to make that happen.
This is not a time to go on break, but I'm going to plead with my director, if this is fine by him.
Yeah.
If we have Mia Motley's speech to the United Nations, would he be so kind as to share it with the world now?
I asked myself on Monday night, as we met to determine the halfway point of the SDG goals, how many roads we have to walk just to make it to the door, only to be told that the door is closed. Those are not my words. Those are the words of Rocky Dawuni, a famous reggae artist from Ghana, nominated by M4 awards multiple times. But his words ring because in a very real sense, are we going to trod the roads only to be told that it's too late? Too late for us to save as many as we can from the crisis. Too late for us to save as many as we can from the conflicts of war. Too late for us to be able to provide the food that so many need, as we reflect on the fact that more people are likely to be hungry in this world in 2030 than in 2015, or as we get to the basic numbers that 735 million people suffered chronic hunger last year at a time had so much to throw away and to use. Are we going to be too late?
Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, listening to her, the poetry in her delivery, the cadence with which she spoke, you know, a steady voice, a dignified presence, and hearing your words, the words you wrote and sang in there. You know, this is generational impact. Do you recognize that? This is generational impact.
Thank you.
It's okay to have a song and we jam and we jam and we dance and we dance and then. How many years? Then it's gone forever. This is generational impact.
Yes. Yes.
Masa, what could you do? No, seriously. What do we do?
We're still working.
When you go what?
Oh, Nankupon Shray, Ejuma, Nankupon Shragan. This is a testament of in Ghana.
As for this, you did not dream of it.
No, I did not. I did not expect it. I did not dream of it. That's why for me it was like, it's only God that can make this happen. You know, how will a world leader be preparing for an important speech and zone in to listen to a song that will inspire her to write her own speech? And she knew that that was a pivotal speech for her too, in front of world leaders at the United Nations. And then when we talked about Emperor Haile Selassie had a speech at the United Nations, and the words he spoke have stood the test of time because Bob Marley used those words
in a song
and then created the song War, which stood, and then here it was the other way. It's an artist creating a song and a world leader using the song to address world leaders. You know, so if I look at it out of context, that's how the observation for me was. But the magnitude of it at that time, you know, like last year when it happened and everybody calling, you know, I try as much as myself constantly to ground myself.
I hope you didn't delete the text messages that came.
I don't even know where they are now.
Oh no! You should have saved all those messages.
This is a truth. Every time a baby brain, I just say, who to me, who me, or a lot of groups. into groups now, the banner just say you are deleting things and all. Hey, Charlie, wait there, I was saying here. I have to make sure. That, but it's but when you see even she posted it on her. She took that part of her speech and posted it on her website. So when you look at even the post on that, I think this is from my website, but on her website when she posted that,
but you know,
the comments on it
people don't
amazing.
notice this.
Yes.
But you did Ghana such a great honor, because not only did she say a reggae musician,
yes,
but also from Ghana. The man who made in Ghana,
yes,
now brings honor to Ghana.
Yeah.
Because that's
you've
philosophy.
been very poetic too, my brother.
That is really philosophical. What you said in that song.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh man, everybody's got to go listen to that song.
And that song too, interestingly enough, after I finished writing that song, I was invited by the Slavery Museum in Liverpool to come and do a concert. So I went to Liverpool, did an event with them, and then afterwards I started filming parts of the video. So I filmed part of the video in Rome, and I came and filmed part of the video too in the Fort Williams here. And then what is the Blair's Prime Minister Blair's
Blaise Compaoré?
No, Blair of the UK.
Oh, Tony Blair.
Tony Blair's vice president.
The Prime Minister?
The Prime Minister. Tony Blair's.
Gordon Brown?
No, he was the Hall. He was the MP from Hall area in Manchester area.
Oh, the one who punched somebody?
Yeah, the one who punched somebody. yeah.
What a way to remember somebody.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So I mean, forgive me.
His name skips my mind.
Yeah.
But it will come eventually.
He actually came to meet me in Hall.
Yeah.
At that time, when I came to do that event, and then so the video was filmed.
But if I may interject,
yes.
To be fair to the Deputy Prime Minister under Tony Blair at the time, he didn't just get up and punch somebody. Somebody threw an egg at him. Somebody assaulted him first. Yes. And being a trained boxer from his youthful days, he couldn't help it but give him a good hook.
Yeah.
And I think it was a very well-deserved hook. Because we did
Yes.
Right.
So it was interesting that he
Prescott,
came.
that's his name.
Prescott, yes.
That's right.
So Prescott came to have a meeting with me when I went to go do that event over there and also meet community leaders. And at that time, so I filmed. So Walls Tumbling Down was a song too that at that time I was using to show the ills of slavery, the ills of historic crimes, and all of that. But at the same time too, creating a space too for redemption, both upon those who perpetuated the crime and those upon which the crime was perpetuated on.
Yeah.
And so I filmed part in Fort Williams and a part in Rome to show the dichotomy of the two sides of the story. So that was a song that was on Hymns for the Rebel Soul.
So you put the violator and the violated in one video?
In one video without being obvious. By using historic...
The UN, woman say kakra. Woman why diplomatic visa?
No, because One say maybe DNA say. I always want.
Shut up, woman as UN humanitarian ambassador. Woman shut up. Because woman is one more day.
No,
so they softened you.
No, but no, it's not softening. You see, I come from also because I also grew up in a chief's house. You know, the thing is that you're always trying to create a consensus. Because I've always sit down, like even my brother, every time I go, I sit in the back and see him.
What is the consensus between the violator and the violated?
No, the thing is that you want the violator to own up to their sins. Because the violator, because they have a role of power, a role of media, they're still not owning up. And everybody's shoving that whole thing down. So for me to use the symbolism of the Empire of Rome and the symbolism too of Ghana, a fort that was open, you open the conversation in an even bigger way. You see, for me, I also approach things in an intellectual way to create discourse by having people talk about, because sometimes too, you see, I choose to be very hard when I need to. But I become hard not necessarily as an end. It's a means towards, because in the long run, in human society, we have to live with each other. You know, saying, you don't have anybody left.
That's why God hasn't killed Satan.
So, you see, Satan is still around, doing what he did from that time. Still perpetuating the same objective and agenda. So that's how I approach, because I believe that in the long run you have to live with people. So if even somebody has done you something wrong, as you can't repay them, you can defend yourself. But to say that, okay, I'm going to go out there and definitely use the same thing they perpetuate upon to go and perpetuate on them, then you become
the same as
the same. So I always try to use my music and my lyrics to instill a high sense of intellectual stimulation.
But let's check this out. Let's bring it to a very, very basic level.
Yeah.
Somebody's hitting your head with a hammer.
Yes. And you take the hammer and hit him back right there.
No. And you keep saying, please stop hitting my head. Please stop hitting my head.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No. I'm not saying that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make a case here so that the viewer can also think of this.
Yeah.
Don't you get to a point where you pull yourself away and go and train and start learning how to make a bigger hammer? Because, you know, there's a mafia movie which I watched that says you can get farther with a kind word and a gun.
Yeah.
With only a kind word.
No, I believe in that too. Believe me, I'm a military child. I'm a military child. I believe in the use of building your power. And even I believe that Africa right now, we have diminished our power to defend ourselves because we are following certain concepts and diminish. Meanwhile, every democracy in the world builds their military. We are diminishing our military power, so how do we defend ourselves? You have to wield a big stick, and then you add diplomacy to it. I believe in all of those aspects. But in the music too, I try to use a means of creating, you know, I'm also, you see, I try to create consensus, almost like Haile Selassie's speech. You see, in the speech, he went to the League of Nations because there was an oppressor, which was one of the members of the League of Nations that was oppressing another member. Because it was African, they were all turning blind eye and pretending like... Meanwhile, the charter says that if you attack one, you attack everybody. But because it was an African country, they were all... So that's why I say, until the color of a man's skin
is of no more
significant than the color of his eyes, there will be war. So if you defeat, say, because it be black man, they do, and all you white people, they there, you know, they care. The next time you go see, you are fighting against yourself, and you don't have any moral justification or moral platform to even...
You just woke the lyrics up in my mind. It says, until that day...
The dream of lasting peace, world citizenship, and the rule of international morality will remain but a fleeting illusion to be pursued but never attained.
Wow!
You see?
Haile
Selassie. But everybody hears that they don't, you know, it's Haile Selassie amplified by Bob Marley. You see, but we have this king, and you know, I've traveled in Ethiopia, I've spent time in Lalibela, I've gone to hang out with the monks there, I've gone to pray with the monks there, I've gone to spend spiritual time.
I may have spent more time in Ethiopia and Eritrea than you, just by dating two people from there.
Hey, that's a good way to go.
The greatest way to explore any nation is to have
Africa.
Is to have one of them as your nearest and dearest.
Exactly. So, and the finest. That's the finest way of doing things, you know. So you know, the thing is that, you know, we everything we need. That's what I'm saying. It's beautiful people, and it's Africa, and it's Christianity. Purest form of Christianity that God gave us is right here in Africa. The purest form. If we are looking for the origins and foundation of Christianity, I don't offer a different version. Whilst God gave us the version that is pure, has been nurtured. If you go to Lalibela, your faith, you know, if you're a person of faith, your faith even amplifies. It doesn't matter who you are. When you go to the Church of the Archangels, you go to St. Mary's Church, and all of these where people use their hands to create. It's the biggest marvel of modern. It's not. People look at the pyramids. It's not the pyramids, so. But we get up, we go to Louvre in France, we go to all of these places, whilst the greatest like physical manifestation of the divine are on our own continent. Haile Selassie, look, a king whose lineage goes right to the throne of David, King David. This is our heritage, as black people, as Africans, but we're not owning up to it. Somebody else will come and tell us, look at another image somewhere of somebody else who's not our own, and they will go and will follow that. When
who do we blame?
Colonization.
Colonization.
No, but colonization
gave us something you choose.
Colonization is a construct. Colonization is a construct because we have not. You
cannot hammer anything into my brain.
No, but Enameka said mindset. No, so the colonization is creating the operating system.
Ayawara. And that brings me to one of my favorite.
Whatever you download in there, if the operating system is not reconfigured, then it's
up to you.
It's up to you to free yourself. You see, it's up to you to free yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Those have no fear for atomic energy, because none of them can stop the time. How long shall we kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? And some say it's just a part of it, but we have to fulfill the book.
So really, it all comes back to your song. It's all reliant on us.
It's all about us.
Your song, Wara. It's a beautiful song. I don't know if I have the voice for Wara, because that's how we are melodious kakrasi Bob Marley.
Odo Wara o, Odo Wara o, Odo Wara o, me huana jia me si demada. Odo Wara o, Odo Wara o, Odo Wara o, me huana jia me si demada. Insione ritoi, mi tu mrikana mabo. Odo me hua we diana juwe me si demada. And from an eri boy, me kami huna mabo. Odo me hua we diana juwe me si demada. And Odo Wara o, Odo Wara o, Odo Wara o, me huana jia me si demada.
No. And Dano, is he talking about sleep, or is he talking about entry?
No. The thing is that relationships, when you are in love, and I'm talking about love, personal love and agape love. Agape love is love for everybody, humanity, because everything I sing about is personalized, but there's something divine about when you are in love. And this is talking about, the song is that only you, without you, how am I even going to sleep? Sleep is rest. How am I going to be at rest? The rain is falling. It's tumultuous outside. But I know that when I come to you, I am at rest. So it's talking about how to extrapolate that feeling of when you are in love with somebody that you care about. And that feeling is almost close to divinity.
It's actually close to intoxication.
It is. And natural intoxication.
I've never drunk. Yeah. But I've seen people drunk.
Yeah. That's why love, love. No, but love is an experience of the divine.
So the divine is intoxicating them.
It's intoxicating when you have faith. But that's, you see, when you are intoxicated by your faith, in that level of belief, that's when miracles happen. So that power, the power of the divine goes through you. That's why love, many philosophers from Gandhi, Martin Luther King, everybody keeps stressing, Jesus Christ, love thy neighbor as thyself. They ask him, what is the greatest commandment? Love thy neighbor as thyself. So love is the supreme empirical, experiential expression of the divine. So,
But when you think of love thy neighbor as thyself, what about where you meet those careless and callous people who don't even love themselves?
no. You see,
Then-
love thy neighbor as thyself, what it means is that you can love the perpetuator of evil, but you don't love evil. You attack evil. If they attach to evil, you attack it. But that does not diminish your love for they as human beings. But if they're human beings and they're doing wrong, you have to peel that cancer.
Don't miss my question.
Yes.
He's careless and callous, so he doesn't even love himself. How does he love his neighbor?
That's when you love. When you give them love, then they know what it feels. It's almost like when somebody hates you and somebody has been saying bad things about you. When they see you, they expect you to act the same way. But when you go out there, you hug them and you start expressing how much you appreciate them.
I'm going back to your dear brother.
Yes.
Some will hate you,
But pretend they love you now. Then behind it, try to eliminate you. But you see, then it comes to, but who Jah bless, no man curse.
Oh my!
You see? So that's why it's like, if God bless you, but your responsibility is recognizing that element in. That's why I believe that even in our country, we have to let the idea of love, and when I say love, kind of supersede who we are. That's the only way we can reach a union of our country that will be wholesome and serve all of us. If it comes from love, then we circumvent the tribalism aspect, because tribalism aspect, no matter how we pretend, is very serious. Somebody will say, somebody will say, wait, Hannah feel, we say, oh, we don't feel how, hey, Rocky, Pepe new, we say, like all of that kind of stuff. So they will not say it in your face, but they will think it. And those programming, although our culture is meant to create the beauty of diversity, but sometimes the beauty of diversity becomes weaponized in a way that is toxic. And it becomes self-perpetuating in a way that it impedes our ability to create that unity. But love for each other, for ourselves, for our culture, will supersede and cut through all of these divisions. That's why for me, love of country, that patriotism, that is not based upon what your country is doing for you, but what you can do for your country. Love for your country, not based upon when you are giving the national purse to take care of it, you dip your hand into the national purse because you love everybody and you will not, that role and responsibility, you will not betray that trust. That's love of your country, love of your people. Love of your people, where you will not go to the rivers and put cyanide in there just so that you can get money, you and your cronies and your people, to go and this, whilst children die and get malformed from drinking that water and all of that. Love for your people in that sense that you will not, the fruits of that is evil. So that love is what I believe that if we push that supreme idea of love, it transcends everything. And until then, until that day, the dream of that lasting unity that we crave for, right now, when we look at America, America says America first. Europe is organizing itself to take care of only Europe. China is already taking care of only China. Although they will engage us, but ultimately it's about what their identity is and supporting them.
Russia is their Belt and Road Initiative is what is carrying the goods around the world.
Exactly, but where is Africa first? Where is Africa? Where is us talking about taking care of each other? But it will come from love of self, love of who we are as Africans.
I want to ask you.
Yes.
Does the acquisition of power and greater wealth make it more difficult for people to love?
I think that the illusion of the acquisition of power and wealth makes it hard, because you see, the power and wealth, it amplifies greed. You see, you can be wealthy, but if you will be experienced like really wealthy, you have to have some level, be driven by a level of greed. Just read the autobiography of a lot of the extremely people who are, everybody wants to be a billionaire.
Those are material wealthy people.
Those,
yeah.
yes. But when it comes to real wealth, I feel that is where you can create prosperity.
For those around you.
For those around you and everybody. Prosperity for both the spiritual welfare of your people, the material welfare. You know, everybody can work and thrive and grow without taking advantage of the collective.
The founder of this company, Class Media Group, and also the founder of Zira Group of companies, a businessman and a philanthropist, Alhaji Seydou Agongo, I interviewed him recently, and he talked about the fact that it is good to make money.
No, there's nothing wrong with making money.
No, he says it is good to make money.
Yeah.
But you must not make money with a view to destroying the nation or the institutions that are making it possible for you to earn a living.
Yeah.
Make your money in a way that the nation will grow.
Yes.
And then when you make your money, remember, it's not all yours. Give some back to the poor.
No, the thing of making money, the intellectual, what's it called, the acumen of business, growing economy, growing communities, creating wealth, prosperity, and all that is important for human existence. It's important for all of us. It's important for our business people to grow in their business and all of that. But it has to be done in a way that, as an individual, you don't have to be driven by the thing that, oh, okay, I can take all of this for myself and that's how I will make money. It's the means by which you make it that compromises the outcome of it. So, and when you are obsessed, when everybody's obsessed with money, I mean, imagine when you have money and you drive some nice car and you park here, imagine how you trend here. Everybody will be blogging you and that kind of stuff because, Charlie, you are showing the flashiness of your money. So the obsession with that type of world can be toxic. So what you're telling a lot of the youth too is that, okay, you can just be rich. Doesn't matter how you become rich. So the thing about wealth is to teach people how to, you can be wealthy too. There's nothing wrong with being wealthy. But the tools of which is action, work, entrepreneurship, all of these things that you need to do, which can be able to build you, the means by which you are able to do it, by not necessarily arriving there.
And I feel that the destination, not the journey.
The destination, yes, you know. And I feel that it's all because when you're building a society, you have to understand that they are the youth, which are our brothers and sisters. Most of them look up to us. So the examples we set are very important, not only for us, but for our nation. So we have to make sure that everything that is amplified on a big portion, the youth are looking at it. So as we were talking about even in other countries, the algorithm brings them things that are developing the youth, things that are teaching them, oh, you know, you want to go into cocoa farming, maybe this is how you make chocolate. So you can make, if you want to be a chocolate entrepreneur, you can do this.
You want to code?
Yeah, if you want to code, this is what you do. This is the first steps. These are how you do, like things that are constantly developing so that we know that we are seeding the underground for our prosperity. But it's not about, oh, this is the latest slave queen. This is the thing. This is. I'm just being honest. Sorry, I like comedy, so. I mean, sometimes I watch the same thing too, so I'm not complaining. But I'm saying it can waste your time.
you know, when we come back, I want us to talk about what
I had to throw that in there. You know,
I want us to talk about what people should do, because there's a lot of musicians who say, look, I have done so much work in Ghana.
Yes.
I know there are people who have their music trending in Ghana, but I also want to have some international impact and leave a legacy.
Yes.
What do I need to do so I can be seen?
Yes.
Not just by Ghanaians, but by the world.
Yes.
And then what do I need to do so I can be recognized by people of substance? So that maybe, just maybe, I may also be nominated. Can we talk about that?
Yes. You know.
So we'll do that.
Okay.
My special guest on this program is my man, Rocky Dawuni. And we'll be talking about how to get nominated for international awards right after this.
Excellent furnishing in a real estate business is a great deal for survival. My struggles as a young estate developer were cut short when I discovered Fernart Ghana. With quality furniture made from the finest woods and amazing after-sale service, Fernart Ghana changed my story with every single home I built. It's a one-stop shop that serves the interests of clients with a variety of living room and dining sets, solid wood kitchen installations, wardrobes, doors, cabinets, beds, pergolas, floor parquets, and many other wooden products that will last a lifetime. With Fernart Ghana, all clients are offered the opportunity to customize furniture to their specifications, and the smile on their faces says it all. Thanks to Fernart, now your home can look beautiful with furniture that would last for generations. Visit Fernart Ghana today and share my story. Locate us at Yaniba Estate, Osu, Accra, or call 0303 966085 or 055 278 4097. Think wood, think Fernart.
ክቡርነቶ ማህበሩ የተመሰረተበትን 25ኛውን ዓመተ ምህረት ቆኑባቸው ጊዜያት ይገኛሉ። ሁለተኛው የዓለም ጦርነት ያደረሰው ታላቅ ማመሳቀልና ጥፋት ለተባበሩት መንግስታት ድርጅት መመስረት ምክንያት መሆኑ አሁን ከተከሰናቸው ሁኔታዎች የሚቆጠር ሆኖ እናየዋለን። የተባበሩት መንግስታት ድርጅት የተመሰረተበት 25ኛውን ዓመት
Did you see your man? Emperor Haile Selassie.
Yes.
You know his guy name? I got a guy named Obacho. You know, he's Rastafari McConnell.
Yes.
You know,
and you know, when I was in Ethiopia at his palace, actually there might be a photograph.
What kind of palace was you now?
Yeah, the old palace where he lived in. And interestingly, the place, there was a lot of photographs of Kwame Nkrumah.
Wow.
And you know, when they established one of the first universities in Africa, a lot of our leaders who became the leaders of other African countries, they would all go there to go and learn. The school was a place so he was very instrumental in the first wave of African leaders that laid the foundation for who we are right now, you know. And that's why I believe that, you know, our educational system, I mean, luminaries like this, you don't find them in our books. You don't find the teachings in our books.
Over there, he was speaking Amharic. He chose not to speak French nor English.
No.
He spoke in Amharic.
Amharic.
Why?
Because it was his identity. It was who he is.
I will speak my language. Let the interpreter.
Let them interpret for them. Let them interpret for them to hear. They interpret. So he spoke that intentionally. He can speak many languages.
Openyin Kwawansan, one of my heroes in Ghana, a great national treasure.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote my master's dissertation on him. And there is a statement he made in one of the interviews I conducted with him. He says, culture is embedded in language.
Yes.
Culture is embedded in language. What does not exist in a culture does not have a name in it. It has a description.
Yeah. I love that. That's, you know, and the things I imagine, I always say that, you know, Africa is one thing that we will know that Africa is the origin of humanity, is that when you go to the origins, that's where you find a diversity. It's like when you go to a forest, where is biodiverse, is the place that sees many forests. So imagine how many languages and cultures are in Africa. More than any place on earth. So that's why everybody knows that humanity's origins is from here. The center of the earth is right here in Ghana here. Are we acknowledging it? I mean, we talk about it, but are we spiritually acknowledging why?
I acknowledge it. I even help.
Yeah, but I'm saying spiritually, do we understand what God gave us, why God positioned us here? Do we really understand? Do we see the mandate that has, the spiritual mandate that comes with that? As a people, that each of us is blessed and chosen. You see, so that's what I believe, that even the new context of the new African has to have those spiritual foundations. And the spiritual foundation that's trans-religious.
You like the word blessing. You use it a lot in our private conversations, and you've done so too on TV today.
Yes.
Blessing itself has become a very anodyne word for me, because in Ghana, somebody who goes into government and steals can have a party, and then at the party say, these are the blessings of the Lord.
Yes.
Aren't they confusing the population? Are those blessings?
Well, the thing is that I can definitely say for individuals, all I can say is that to use the name of the Lord in vain is a curse. So if you are out there and the source of whatever you are showing to the world is not based upon the realities, based upon other scrupulous kind of machinations, then you know that you're lying, and I think that lie, I believe in the law of karma too, whatever you do unto others, you do unto you. So if you're lying to people even about the source of, and people are enamored even at that time, there's a certain higher level of the repercussions that you reap what you sow.
I want to come back to one of the 4 key core mandates of yours.
Yes.
You've got music, you've got activism, you've got family, and then you've got farming. So I want to bring you to the music, because it is the music that catapulted you onto the world stage.
Yes.
What does one do as a young musician in Ghana who has made some good music, at least for 3 years, and now is one trying to break onto the world market, and also seeking to be nominated for an award? Take us step by step. I think maybe 6 steps?
I think first of all is you, the person. You, the person, need to be driven. And by being driven, I'm saying that you have to understand that talent is 50%. And the other 50% is work ethic. So with the work ethic also comes your ability for others to work with you. So
others to work with you. Because if you're non-cooperative, nobody will work with you.
You can't put together a team. You see, so if your cup is too full you're unmanageable. So first of all, you have to be driven. You have to work on your talent. You have to be a persona who others can work with you and listen, so that you can grow constantly. So that means that you become dynamic. And then beyond that too is beyond that, you have a team now. Now it's about songwriting. You see, I will sway a little bit to tell my story, a little bit of my story, which changed my trajectory. I had started from here. In Ghana had come out. It had been big. Putumayo put it on their biggest, in Ghana, all of a sudden got me a tour. In the US, I was doing Walmart, I was doing all of those things. They brought me together with Positive Black Soul from Senegal, Ishmael Isaacs of this thing. We had a whole US tour. We were playing with, from Femi Kuti, Miriam Makeba, everybody on the biggest stages, all of a sudden, after in Ghana happened. But I knew there was something missing in terms of me as an artist, because I knew I wanted to go somewhere else, which was my art of songwriting was still not perfect, because I had not learned an instrument and I had not learned music properly in terms of writing. I came from, let me put it together, let me do it, but I didn't learn how chord changes and all of that kind of stuff. It was intuitive and natural for me to be able to do that, because that's how I got myself all the way. So I decided, now let me learn it well. So I took, after one album called Book of Changes, which was a fusion.
You've got 9 albums, my research tells
Now
me.
it's 9 albums.
Okay, now the 9th one is about to come out, correct?
9th one is about to come out.
That's
so
it.
This was about, I'll say, let me see, there was 8, and then there was 7th, and then there was 6th. This was the 5th album, which was the Hymns for the Rebel Soul, which was the one that the Prime Minister quoted.
Yeah.
So what happened was that I decided to go on the drawing board for 1 year to go and learn songwriting properly. I left, at that time I was traveling a lot, I left, came to hang out with my mom in Koforidua, and literally started studying, you know, music, chords, guitar, working on songs, working on my lyrics, working on all of these, because I knew that for me to grow the next level.
Self-taught, or somebody was teaching you?
So I did I learned, I went to the teachers, learned everything prior to that, and I brought all of it now to teach myself, because now it's like the work I put in order for the lessons. The lessons they can cast it upon you,
yeah.
But how you integrate it. So I worked on this. I worked on playing guitar. Worked on now creating songs on guitar, because I was traveling and meeting all of these amazing musicians. And they tell me, your song is great, but you need to work on your singing, because you can't be singing. You need to bring dynamism in your vocals. So take singing lessons. They
would say that to you.
They would say that to me.
Where were you hearing these?
No, these were people who were elders who were playing with me, like my bassist, who was the bassist for Steel Pulse.
Whoa.
Yeah. You know, Ronnie McQueen would call me, because they were trying to help me grow. They could see my potential. So they were giving me their OG ideas as to the things that I needed.
And if you were some arrogant new kid,
you'd be like,
angry.
Who are you? I put in Ghana out, and in Ghana is popular everywhere. I'm already blah, 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 blah. No, but I was collecting all of this information. So I went and did my research, came and learned. And then at that time, so I started writing songs based upon the new knowledge. And that was how Hymns for the Rebel Soul
came to be.
When that album came out, it was nominated for NAACP Image Award. Prime Ministers are quoting it and all of that. So that means that, that's the photo of me. The photo before, no, that was me. That was Haile Selassie's bedroom.
Whoa. At
his palace. His old palace in Ethiopia.
No.
Say, when the picture I wore, it's Nimpa na wore Nimpa. That's where he's used to sleep. So it was a trip that I went.
Fantastic.
To, you know.
You see, life should be a collection of memories. And I just want to get into your head to experience all your memories.
Here I am with Rita Mali at her birthday at her house in Miami. Yes. And here I am with Chris Blackwell, the Bob Marley's. This was just
Chris
recent.
Blackwell was the man behind reggae.
Yeah.
If he says you're going to make it, you're going to make it. If he says you ain't going nowhere,
I've known Chris. I've visited him in Jamaica. This was at the premiere of the Marley movie, the main premiere in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So we're all there with the family and everybody.
Wow.
Yeah. So this was there. This is Epsy Campbell, the former vice president of Costa Rica. And now me and her, we do these concerts all around the diaspora. So we did one in Costa Rica, and we did one in Brazil, and we did one in Canada, and now we are planning one for Colombia. So it's a huge, massive concert. I headline, and we bring activists from all around the world, and we will focus on diasporan issues, people of African descent, color, and it's huge. I mean, these are massive concerts that we do.
So when you're writing your music,
yes,
are you thinking of people dancing or thinking of people thinking and acting?
I'm African, so dancing is that's what my sound, Afro Roots, is about. It's about the message day, but Charlie, you for move. Africans, we like to, this is with Vibes Cartel.
Whoa.
Yeah, so we were we were all nominated for the Grammys this year, and so we had an opportunity to meet and have a deep conversation.
He looks good in a suit.
Oh yeah, he looks great. He looks great, he looks great, and we talked a lot about God. We talked about God and our inspiration, the inspiration that comes for us as musicians and creatives. So it was, two musicians who meet and you think that we're talking about anything, but we're talking about God. We're talking about.
Let's bring you back to the way to being nominated.
That's my mother.
Oh. You and Mom?
Yeah, me and my mom. She passed on, but.
And who's on the other part of Mom's shoulder?
That's my daughter. That's
Oh,
Safia. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. When was this?
This was a few years ago. I mean, I would say probably 7 years.
Oh, Mommy's Kaba is beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. You know, Mommy was a traditional woman that inspired me and was like, you know, very, very.
You got a picture of Dad somewhere?
I
see.
not
I
sure.
don't know why sons always have a picture of Mom.
I know,
And then they don't have a
Charlie, you
picture
know,
of the disciplinarian.
mothers, you know, our mothers are, oh yes, me and my Angelique.
Angelique Kidjo.
Yeah.
When you both got nominated?
Yeah. I think, I wonder where this came about. You know, Angelique and I have seen each other a lot.
Energetic performer.
Over the years.
And I love her vibe.
And then here's me, and then that's the Princess of York, Princess Eugenia.
Of course, Princess Eugenia.
And then Ellie Goulding.
The singer.
The singer, yes. We were all, you know, Ellie Goulding and I are both UN ambassadors, so we work together a lot.
Fantastic.
You know, and then
what projects do you work on?
Environment. Here's with me and
Galamsey Pacha.
Here it's so I was also an ambassador for the Clean Cooking Alliance, which me and our former
vice,
Samira were the ambassadors
second lady,
for that initiative. So we worked together, we traveled together a lot, we did a lot of advocacy work in different countries. I think this might have been in India. If
Your manager does a very good job of curating your photos. Can you give her a bottle of champagne on me, and I'll collect the payment from you?
There was another UN event, you know, Global Landscapes Forum. You know, I've done so many of them in various countries.
But let me tell you, you're a great musician, but I think also that you're a very good orator. You speak very well.
Thank you.
And maybe that's why this UN ambassadorship came.
Yes, I think it came.
Because when you meet the people, you're not going to be singing, you're going to be speaking.
Yeah. You know, I've had the opportunity of, you know, working with various world leaders. And,
who's here with you?
God, I don't even know where that's from. But that's from somewhere, and it looks like I'm smiling, so I was a very happy man there.
You are in trouble, you!
Hey,
You are in trouble!
You're in trouble! Where's
Oh, boy.
You know, the thing is that, you know, I've had the opportunity of meeting a lot of world leaders, you know, working together in the UN. I've sat on a lot of leadership councils. You know, from the Robert F. Kennedy Human Rights Council, you know, at the time that when I was even on leadership council, you had President Clinton, you had a lot of world leaders on there. You know, I've had the opportunity of even when the Creative Cooking Alliance was established, it was a conglomerate of different world leaders. I was on the table, you know, and it was also based upon my ability to meld kind of artistic, I'll use the word celebrity with a quote, artistic celebrity with intuitive intellectual articulation of social issues, which allowed me to sit on those tables. Because I don't sit on I sit on those tables, and I'm as informed as they are.
But that does not come with just being a great musical performer.
That comes from my
somebody
education.
with education and
Education,
intellect.
The University of Ghana, Charlie.
What did you study there?
Charlie, philosophy and psychology.
No wonder.
Yeah.
No wonder. Because sometimes you can say, as you play to the
Hi, Charlie. You know, Charlie, do we know which, you know, my professor, I see you do, and all of those people.
When you say,
No, education, you know, I say if even education is meant to colonize your mindset, in the long run, they hand you the keys to unlock yourself.
That's
and
true.
find yourself.
Look, let's take a look at this video. And when we come back, I want us to quickly wrap up.
Yes.
To start catching the eye of the world.
Yes.
And start getting nominated for honors. Right after this.
Plato argued that there are 4 classical virtues. There's wisdom, justice, self-control, and courage. And of these, his account of courage is one of the most insightful passages in his Republic. Because for Plato, courage is not what most people think it is. Courage is not the same as fearlessness, nor is it something born to some people and denied others. For Plato, courage is the ability to recognize what's valuable or not, and what should be feared. For instance, courage is when you fear losing a loved one more than your health or your wealth. It's when you see fairness or justice as greater than popularity. A young child who does not know the dangers of life is not brave, they just don't know what they should fear yet. A lion defending her pride is mighty, but she's not courageous. Courage is having the wisdom or the judgment to place one set of values above another. And for Plato, this must be trained or taught in our schools and by the state. We must teach children what are the valuable things in life, that justice, fairness, wisdom, love and friendship are more important than wealth, lust and the self. From our earliest years, we must see that some things in life need defending. We need to protect those things. So courage can take many forms. It's in the greatest of acts or in the quietest of words. It's an Arthurian knight defending his honour, or a protester fighting for justice. It's a small girl standing up to a bully in the playground. Courage is knowing what's right and why right is important.
I love that. But now I have to take your reaction to what you just heard.
Wow, it's just spoke. It's the truth, you know, the truth to see what is deeply ingrained in our true nature. It's really expression of what our true nature is, you know. And courage is the ability to be who you are, express who you are in your truth.
Do you think Ghanaians lack courage because we are not able to confront the oppressor, we are not able to speak truth to power, and we are not able to tell the very people who destroy our lands, national resources, and plunder the nation that they are wrong, and arrest them and put them away? Are Ghanaians cowards?
No, when I use the word Ghanaians, that means everybody.
The majority of Ghanaians.
I will say that
The
a section
of Ghanaians.
of our population, and it's, I don't think, you see, I have an analogy, and hear my analogy. Our independence was handed to us through intellectual discourse, not through an armed struggle. So many a time, to go out there and confront things and demand it, just like the people in South Africa had to fight every day, be in the streets and confront people with an armed struggle to get their freedom. It structured them in a way where, although they have not, it hasn't transformed very well in terms of their current situation. I believe that our situation is not necessarily a level of hopeless apathy, but it is also the thing of that we tend, you know, because we have a family system where if even you see something going wrong and you articulate, they'll say, which is, to some extent, it excuses the crime, or it excuses what has been done, and then we try to solve it through, instead of saying, let's go and do it. And I think that that has created a certain sense of the collective, for us to reach that point. So because when it takes a nation, you need a critical mass of people to think a certain way for it to be transformed into real action. So the critical mass of people being angry enough, a lot of times we don't get the volume of that to be able to transform, because we have not.
I think you've answered my question without answering.
Yes.
We are cowards.
Yes.
So now let us wrap up. So let us wrap up quickly they must get their song right. They must build their team.
Yes.
And
we need to just confront the evil of the system.
yeah, but I want to go to the nominations.
Yeah.
So to get your songs right.
Yes.
Build a team. What's
Yes.
next?
Build your team. Now start thinking.
I've got 1 minute, so
okay.
wrap it up.
Yeah, but now start pushing yourself. Grow locally. Grow locally, but then present yourself globally. Okay. So that means that using all the tools that are available right now, let's say the streaming platforms, making sure that the bloggers, not local bloggers, but also the blogosphere around the world, you are becoming present.
And then after that?
And after that, you find a good booking agents and also a record label to make sure that you are physically present in those markets to harness all of that, to magnify yourself so that the world sees that you have arrived.
Thank you very much. This is my man, Rocky Dawuni.
Yes, my
Rocky,
brother.
we have to continue this.
Yes, yes,
Thank you very
yes,
much
yes.
for joining us on Master of the Game. My name is Dakwa, Kwesi J. Dakwa, and my special guest, Rocky Dawuni. They say it's lonely at the top. Don't believe all that nonsense. It is never lonely for those who are kind, those who are compassionate, those who are grateful, and those who are graceful with others. So see you at the top. The bottom is too crowded. See you next week.
Everybody now get top. Afro music get for top. Everybody go say yeah.